Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com and StockMarketBloggers.com. Today is the 23rd, the end of the Legatus Pilgrimage, which we have been waiting on and talking about. At least I've been talking about it for several months now, that this would be a topping period in the market, just like it was back in May the 2nd, which was the previous Legatus Pilgrimage period of April the 30th to May the 2nd, and that was a top in the market as well back then. So everything now, all the evidence that that is out there for us to put the pieces together, definitely points to a big sell-off, a crash coming starting next week and continuing for several weeks. You have the people like David Wilcock talking about it, as well as Benjamin Fulford. Now, they're not stock market people per se, but they are clearly talking about various things that I have discussed many times in other videos. Like Ben Fulford, he talked about the 11/11 date as being a potential date for them to shut down the financial system, shut down the entire stock market. This was a potential date, not written in stone, of course, that they would shut it down and reboot it. Well, that would mean we'd crash all the way to that 3434 print on the SPY by then, and I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think we're going to take a serious downturn. Ben has been off on these dates sometimes because every time he throws one out there, the gangsters know that, and I think they change him on purpose just to make him look bad and make him try to discredit him. But so I've noticed he tries not to put dates on stuff anymore because, well, it's hard to predict the exact date that they're going to take down all these gangsters. But do understand that Bush and Cheney and Kissinger and Rockefeller, these guys aren't going to go down lightly. They're going to go down. They're going to go out kicking and screaming. These are the evilest of the evil of the reptilian shapeshifters. They are pure evil. I'm sure there are good reptilian aliens on this planet helping us, as well as human aliens helping us. And I do believe, as I discussed here, briefly in this post, that I do believe that that we are being helped by good aliens, probably the Palladians, definitely from the Galactic Federation, which is the group of aliens of at least a dozen or so that have been here watching us since this planet has been around. And so they are pretty much the angels and demons referred to in the Bible. Again, so when that goes back to about 6,000 years ago, when a third of them broke away and came down here and enslaved us, these were the reptilians. So you can believe what you want, but understand that this all has to do with their control of not only the stock market and the economy, but us as sheep. These people, these gangsters, and more that I'm not even mentioning. These are just the ones in America. The Rothschilds and the Vanderbilts and all those other ones over there in Europe, the well-known ones, they need to be arrested too. And hopefully they'll all go away and they'll take these people down. In Ben's latest interview, and here is his latest interview, the Rothschild family actually offered the White Dragon Society $25 trillion to go away. Now I want you to put a perspective on how wealthy these people are. The European debt situation that is going on right now, they are talking about 440 billion euros is one of the quotes, and they said that obviously wasn't enough, but I just want you to think about that in dollar terms. That's what, 550 to 600 million dollars, depending upon the price of the euro at any given time. So this round that off would call that $500 billion. That is what they need over there in those countries, I guess, to stabilize them and to buy them some time. Now here these gangsters, the Rothschilds, the Vanderbilts, the Bushes, the Clintons, all of them, the evil empire, the cabal, the shape-shifting reptilians, These guys offer $25 trillion just to go away. And the White Dragon Society asked, can you make it 50 trillion? And they answered without hesitation, sure, whatever you want. $50 trillion, that means they got at least that much that they're willing to just give for Ben Fulford and the White Dragon Society, which again is made up of over 80 countries of people who want to free humanity and do the right thing and get these free energy devices out there to the public to stop the starvation of people across the world, and Africa and just all the countries. I mean, you got half the world living on less than $2 a day. They want to stop this. And so, of course they said, no, we're not doing this. We're not taking it. First of all, it's stolen money. And, these gangsters think that they can just buy their way out of everything. It's not going to happen. The aliens that have been here have been coming here since 1945 when they first seen the first atomic bomb go off, and they came here to investigate. They've been here since then, and they're coming in masses. And I'm not even putting up YouTube videos about it, about all the mass sightings that we've seen here lately. And I'll grant you, some of them are a spaceship that our government has built. Understand that. Well, our government has, and I don't mean our government, I should say these Illuminati gangsters, these Evil Cabal members, they've got at least 8 motherships as of 2005 that are apparently I forget how many, 300 meters long or something like that, which is 900 feet or something long, motherships out in space, and then another 57 other spaceships that are smaller, I guess you could call them. So, these are like aircraft carriers. Think of the Navy aircraft carrier. That's how big these ships are. And this is where our trillions of dollars went into this secret space program. They've basically been going to the moon and Mars since about the 70s. And this is why the NASA's funding just kind of ran out, and they went secret with the space program. They continued it. They just went secret with it. And they want to keep all of this technology away from us, stuff that can keep us alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's just like exactly what it says in the Bible. You have 7 years of tribulation. You got 1,000 years of a time period after that. I forget what they call it, the new millennium, or 1,000-year millennium, I think it's called. I forget exactly. But you can call it the golden age, whatever. This is a period where people live to be hundreds and hundreds of years old. Why? Because of the technology to correct our DNA and fix us. Well, these good aliens are the ones that I do believe in, that were here to help us, and they have been assisting the Pentagon and the other white hats in the White Dragon Society, assisting them in bringing down the Illuminati Cabal members, and they've taken down at least 8 underground bases so far without the use of killing these people. And I don't know what they did with them. Obviously, they took them probably through some portal, wormhole, whatever, and took them to their ships, and probably just keeping them there and trying to educate them, because these people probably have no clue as to what's really been going on. I understand these people have been lied to too, and I'm talking about the 30,000 plus people in each city of the first 2 cities that were in the Virginia area that the earthquake went off in the southern Virginia area, south of Washington D.C. in the state of Virginia back in August. This was done by them, and they've got 8 bases so far, according to the last information by David Wilcock. So, and I haven't seen anything more on updating his page. I have went over here and looked at it and refreshed it, but there's nothing else here besides 1010, and that's it, and that's his last update. And you can just, this has been printed on my blog several times, and he's obviously updating this whenever he finds out new information from his sources that are obviously separate from Ben Fulford's sources. So we are going through some crazy, crazy times, and we've got the Mayan calendar ending on the 28th. According to some people. you know, and that would be this year, October 28th, 2011. That's this coming Friday. Then we've got it officially ended by the rest of the world, December 21st, 2012. And then still we've got more people who say that it could be off by a year and actually end this year on December the 12th, 2011. Karen, this astrologer, said this here on the blog here that I added as a Karen Starch or Starrich, I guess that's how it's pronounced, Starrich. She quoted in her interview that she believed it was off, that it should end this year, because in astrology terms she sees this November as absolutely horrible, that there could be a flash crash on November the 2nd. Right here where it says click here, right here, I did put her audio interview there, and you can start listening in at 63 minutes and 50 seconds into the audio interview. And she actually mentions the word flash crash starting about 80 minutes in, but I'd start about 63 and listen to it. Maybe 30 minutes worth of her talking and stuff. But they're also talking about, I think, XM radio or something, a stock or something. That's because that was prior to the first 63 minutes. They were talking about that stock or something. So don't get too lost when she goes on about that. Why they're mentioning that stock. It was because it was previously mentioned. But when she talks about the market overall, it's, as she mentions the date, November the 2nd. So we got lots of clues here. You know, we got November 11, 11, 11. That obviously is still coming along, and it only happens once every 100 years. You've got that movie Margin Call put out. That obviously is a signal. It just came out this weekend. That is a signal from the Illuminati that, you know, there's going to be margin calls coming up soon. And you've got obviously Ben Fulford and them saying that on 11/11/11 there could be a tentative shutdown of the system to reboot it. You've got the Legatus Pilgrimage ending, and you've got the Eurozone Summit, which has been extended. Okay, the decision was supposed to have been made this Sunday. It has been extended, and they will give a vote before Wednesday or by Wednesday on the 27th. So we're looking to get short the market, you know, before then. And then they'll give the final details of the plan by the 30th, of the exact details of what they're going to do. Now, of course, that happens to be over the weekend on the next Sunday. And that would leave you to open up Monday, the 1st, or no, that's the 31st. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. Yes. So 30 days is in this month. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. Am I getting this right? Okay, so the 31st. So 31st obviously will be closed because that'll be what, Halloween, right? Jeez, when you don't have kids, you kind of forget about that stuff. But I see people out with Halloween stuff out, so that's how I can remember that date. Sad, isn't it? So anyway, so obviously the market will be closed that day. Then Tuesday the 1st, then it would open, and the 2nd obviously could be the flash crash date that she's talking about. So very possibly what we could end up doing is going into some type of, if I go to these charts very quickly, and I'm going to go back to them a little bit later, but very possibly we could go up a little bit higher here, and I do expect them to go up a little bit higher, like I said in the little 5-minute quick updates that I've been doing from time to time. When you have an all update like this, you do expect the next day to be kind of a spinning top, or doji type pattern. They call it D-O-J-I, doji type pattern. I call it a spinning top too. You can call it a multitude of things, but you don't expect this to turn and crash. It should have some type of topping tail or spinning top pattern to indicate the top. Now, of course, it could have a long topping tail. It could just run up real quick and fall right back down and close with a big topping tail. We've seen that many times before, especially for bottoming tails. You just flip them upside down. So that's possible. So understand that over the next few days, I'm not sure where they're going to take this. I do expect it to go up a little bit higher, maybe 1250, 1250 is pushing it, but we could actually go on up here and hit this 200-day moving average, and again hit our fake print on the of the 127. And you know, I've posted this many times in the past for you, and I think I put a link on it here this time. Clicked onto the link, yes, right here, and you know, it's still possible that we could go up here and hit this print. I don't know, you know, if that's the plan or not, but we got this print on August the 31st. I don't know the significance of it, but you know, and I don't know if it's real or not. I still do not know. I wish I had more details on this. I wish I had the open and low price on it and the volume on it to tell if it was a real print or not. But this very well could be the final top. And do understand that it could do this. It could do this essentially within the next few days. Maybe Monday we have a little spinning top pattern or something, and then we run up Tuesday one more time, and we're off a few days by the Legatus top. Simply because of the delay that they're doing with the EU vote decision. So that's a possibility. But I don't really think so, but I don't know. So, you know, we're just throwing that out there. They are obviously pushing this to the extreme. You can see we are going up much higher than I thought. On the weekly chart, we are pointing up. Now, I don't believe it's going to last. I do believe it's going to roll right back over. You know, so, but it is pointing up, so we've got to respect that and see. So I will let everyone know when I decide to get short, but I just have to get a feel for the market and when it opens and see what kind of strength it is and guess at it. I mean, you're just guessing at it, really. This red line, by the way, is at 1266. That is the 50-period moving average. It's like a magnet. It wants to draw it to that, and understand that that's also about our 1270 or about our fake print level. So it seems impossible for us to go straight up and hit that fake print, but I want you to understand that these times are nothing like ever in history before, with that Mayan calendar ending the 28th, and the 11/11, the movie, the date, the rituals, the Illuminati getting backed down into a corner and trying to buy their way out. They failed many times at attempted World War III, nuclear bombs. They've given them to Iran and told them to, you know, bomb Israel, and they've done this, as Ben Fulford talks about in this audio interview. I mean, they're giving these neutron bombs out, and this is Obama and Bush and Clinton. These are the Evil Cabal members. They're giving these bombs out to these people in hopes that they'll use them and kill people. And they said, no, we don't want that. You know, people are fed up of it. Okay, I want to briefly go off on this Occupy Wall Street, although I didn't talk about it right here. You know, George Soros, he's acting like he's trying to back it and support it and all this stuff. Understand, he's still a bad guy, and he's going to go down. They're going to arrest him and take his money. So this is just him trying to trick us all. Don't believe it, okay? He's just trying to gain control of it. I still believe that the Occupy Wall Street is by real people, not staged by people that are bought and paid for by Soros or any of the other gangsters. That these people are out there because they're pissed. They're genuinely pissed off at the banks. They're not faking it, folks. Okay? They're not like they are over in the Middle East, where the gangsters will give money to the CIA and tell the CIA to go find a bunch of you know, soldiers and dress them up as civilians, or police officers in that area, dress them up as civilians, tell them to go out there in the crowd and start overturning cars and taking out buildings and turn a peaceful demonstration into a violent one so that they can justify killing them. Because that's what they did. The people over there in the Middle East, commonly start off as a very peaceful demonstration. They just want their rights, and they want their, the right to be free and the right to work, and they want their freedom like everybody else. And they oppose these austerity measures, which are just taxations, or not really taxations, but they're the stripping away of programs that benefit the middle class and don't affect the rich at all. The rich don't take away programs that make them money. They take away only the programs that benefit the poor and the middle class. That's what austerity is about. Let's not cut the military budget. Let's cut the school systems. Yeah. Let's cut the school system. Let's cut welfare. Let's cut, but let's give more money to the military so we can kill more people. That's what they did. That's why they're pissed about it. And so they'll send out these fake people in there that are thugs, and they're being bought and paid for by people like Soros and Bush to raise all kinds of hell and turn it into a violent protest. So we can expect that something craziness like that to happen eventually, and hopefully not, but we could expect something like that to happen if they succeed here in America. I hope it does not happen. I hope that those people that do start that will be arrested, and they find out that they're ex-CIA or ex-military, or basically hired guns to go out there and raise hell. So that's what we don't want. But so anyway, Ben Fulford also talks about the differences in the Illuminati, that there's a separate group of people that's come forward, said they're the real Illuminati, and so there's different factions of these groups. Understand, folks, that probably 90% of the people inside the Illuminati are forced into it, either by the families that they're being born into, or just brainwashing, that they brainwashed them as a young kid. And if you go back and you remember the video by Arizona Wilder when she was brainwashed into it to be a mother goddess, and she was stuck in a closet and told to drink water. Then they told her that if she peed on herself, she'd have to drink it. And the same thing, she was forced to eat food, and if she did that, she had to eat it. So it's bad, evil stuff. And then they raped her and by her own family members. This is what Bush and Clinton, that's what they do. They're inbreds. They're crazy people. They're doing this, and Soros and Buffett, and of course Queen Elizabeth, and Tony Blair, and all the royal family over there, Prince Charles, all of them. They're all these people date back to the Roman Empire supposedly, and so it's the same immortal spirits just doing this evil stuff. And to me, it's mind-boggling how people can be so evil that they do these things. That I just have never thought that way. I can never be one. Never be one. So you couldn't mind control me at my age now. But understand, you got to have mercy for some of these people that have been mind controlled since they were a child. They're going to need help when they get out, when they finally realize the truth, because they have been taught everything wrong about society. So who is the real Illuminati? I don't know. I thought about that, and this obviously would go back to the 14th and 15th century, that the ones that were called the Knights Templars, I guess, and they were the ones that were supposed to, if I recall, and I haven't studied this, but if I recall, they were the ones hired by the Catholic Church at the time to help protect them and guard them. And then the Catholic Church turned on them and ordered all their executions and hunted down executions. Well, knowing that the Catholic Church and the Pope, the Vatican, are the ones that are pure evil, they're the ones that should be arrested and hung for crimes against humanity. So that's the pure evil. So this real Illuminati group, I don't know. Obviously they're a little warped too, but you can read this. I'll let you make your own decisions on it. The main thing here is that we got to know is that these guys are being cornered right now. They are going to just let this stock market just absolutely collapse. It's coming. Everything is out there. Let's not forget, for people new to watching my videos, the December 7th countdown that's on this Illuminati.org date, which also matches up with Pearl Harbor. from 1941. You know, everything points to this market pretty much topping this week, and where it tops at, I don't know, but and then just absolutely falling off a cliff. And when this Karen says flash crash, I think she needs to rephrase that, because it ain't gonna come back up after it crashes. With the flash crash, it went down in a flash and flashed right back up. Well, in this case, it's going to go down in a flash. It's going to stay down. It's not going to come back up like you think. You know, it's just going to bottom out and stay down. So I'm sure that's probably what she meant. But no matter what happens with this EU debt issue, and when they announce this thing, it is truly a no-win situation. Understand that if they print more euros to bail out these countries, that is going to cause the euro to be devalued, and it will sell off hard. And the dollar, the US dollar, will rocket and just go through the roof. And at the same time, obviously, when the dollar goes up, our stock market crashes. So any way you look at it, it is bad news for the stock market. If, on the other hand, they do not bail them out, then there's going to be all kinds of ripple and fear go through the marketplace that more countries are going to default, because that's their only alternative, is they're going to default. And a default scares investors and traders, and they will panic and hit the panic button if there's no bailout. So if there's a bailout, they panic, because, well, they don't panic. Well, let me rephrase it. If there's no bailout, they panic and they sell. If there is a bailout, the euro crashes, the dollar rises, and the stock market crashes. No-win situation. Any way it goes, it's a no-win situation. So trying to time this top, I don't know exactly where it's going to be. I would be shocked if we hit this 127 print Monday or Tuesday. I really would. I'd be shocked. I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a possibility. On the way down, I don't know how far we're going to go. From last year, I got an 885 fake print, which matches up perfectly with the 8300 fake print. So I've got both of these. So on the way down, we could obviously hit those, or a ritual number like 865, because that makes 6 plus 5 equals 11, or 911. It could be that bottom area. I would be really, really shocked if we hit 3564. So I don't think that's going to happen. But things are looking ugly right now for this time period. So our next our next conference for the Legatus gangsters, the thugs. Oh, looky there, thug number 1, George W. Bush. Well, no, he's daddy's, I guess, number 1, and number 2 is David Rockefeller and Jay Rockefeller. I don't know which numbers they are. They're all like number 1s up there. They're all like a bunch of gangsters, thugs. So looky there, who's going to be attending it? So makes you wonder, will February the 2nd through the 4th be the next top in the market? Very well could be. It very well could be. And how would that work out on a scale? Well, obviously, if you just looked at the market right here on the weekly chart, you'd obviously see that we're getting ready to go down in a wave 3. I still believe that this was, wave 1 down to the bottom right here. No matter how you count it, this was our first major wave 1 down. Now, Ron Walker here, who I'll borrow his charts, as you can see, the chart pattern trader. I do my own charts, but I like his charts, and so I always give him credit if I can, if I remember to. But you guys, most of you know that. He's calling it intermediate wave. It don't make no difference what you call it, okay? Obviously, the start from the very top right. No, not here. I'm sorry. From here, this is primary wave 1 down. This here, most alien wave people are calling this primary. I'm sorry, primary wave 1 down here, primary wave 2 up, primary wave 3. You get that right. Sorry, I will start drawing here a little bit here, scribbling on the charts, if I can get my little program to work. If I don't run out of memory. Let's see, tablet. I think it's kind of annoying, but is it going to work? Probably not. Okay, how much memory am I using here? Might have too much stuff going on here, folks. Am I above 12 gigs? No, not above 12 gigs. I only got 12 gigs in this computer. So, oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's up here in the top left-hand corner. I didn't see it. Okay, so I'm okay. Okay, so Again, if we just look at this like this, we could go up here next week. Hey, what'd you just do? Alright. Sorry about that. And what did just happen there? Okay, we hit the back button there. And I'll bring this over here if I can. Get it out of the way. Actually, I'm going to get it up here out of the way. So, if we do go up next week, boom, and bang that level right there and actually hit the 127.07 SPY fake print, if we do, that again is here, 1266.76. Isn't that a coincidence? 50-day moving average on the weekly. 50 period moving average on the weekly. Okay? I don't think this is going to have more than one. If it does have one like that, then it'll start back down, I believe, and we're fixing to go like this. So, you know, draw that line on out. This is how I think we're fixing to end up. And then we'll turn back up into early next year before we finally roll back over again. So, kind of like one of those to put in positive divergence on it is what I'm expecting, which would obviously take us down all in November and into December. So, if we did something like that, then obviously I'd expect after that for us to just start going down hard. I don't know how many weeks it's going to go. And then this obviously is a prime. This is, again, this is the start of P3, a primary wave 3 down. It's the end of P2 up. Okay, and primary wave 1 down. This is what most Elliott wave people call it, from there to there to there to there. Primary wave 3 down is going to be very, very, very ugly. That's why we're going to probably end up down here at 34.65 on the SPY, like they've already told us, which again is about 346 on the SPX. Yes, that's crazy. That's nuts. So, if we do this primary wave 3 down, then obviously it should be approximately double. Doesn't have to be, but double this one right here. So where would that put us? From 1350 down to, how low did we go? Oh, actually, it went down to here, 1074. So what is that? 1350 minus 1074. That is, goodness, what is that? 275 points? 276 points, sorry. So let's double that, and you've got, what is that, 32 points, roughly. Let's just call it 500 for simplicity. You know, 500 points down from, let's just say, I don't know, 1250. Let's just go with 1250. That's all we make it up to, pretend. 500 points down minus 500 points for the end of this wave. This is just speculation on my part. Then, you know, obviously it puts us at about 750. Wow, that's crazy. Can you imagine us going down to here? Boom, 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 boom. Before it's up, my pen ran out of ink again. You guys, I tell you, you're not helping me out any. Y'all can buy me a pen or something, you know, guys. I tell you, I'm sad about you. I'm ashamed of you. So anyway, obviously this next wave down is going to be very, very, very ugly. And let's go over here to the monthly, and you can see that if we start this wave down right here, then this would have been our wave 1 down with the monthly. This would have been our wave 2 up, which is October, which means that November and December is obviously going to be wave 3 down. And I don't know if we're going to bottom at that point. I think we're going to bottom in obviously down to 750. That would be crazy. I don't know if we're going to go that far or not. So it all depends on how long this wave lasts, folks. But it's going to be ugly, I can tell you that. On a monthly basis, obviously count the months, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months down, and we'll probably close positive this month. I don't see it taking out 11 or 10 74 by the end of this week. I don't see it doing that. So I think, or well, even if it'd be what, about 11, what's the low right there? That looks to be about 11:30 or something like that. So that right there is what I'm looking at, that low. If it stays above that area, then we could close this month out positive, and that would be this Friday. So that means we certainly could go down, you know, but that's this Friday, okay? So, and then after that, next week in November, just drop like a rock, and we should have one of these periods right here. Is what we're probably going to have. So this month could end up like this little spinning top kind of pattern, this little white candy, doji, God dog it, doji pattern. I keep saying that. I don't know why I keep saying it. It's in my mind from martial arts from 30 years ago. I don't know, it wasn't that many years ago, 25 years ago, long time ago. So if it ends up like that, then obviously then we're looking at November like this, maybe December like this. I don't know. It's that that looks scary. That looks like we couldn't even probably, the way this happened, you know, we wouldn't even have a top going into to next Legatus meeting. It could be a bottom for all I know. You know, you're talking into, let's see, that's January. Here's February right here. Okay, and you're talking February 2nd through the 4th. So could we go down here like this? I don't know, man. That's crazy to think we can go down that far. If we went down that far, just in all of the month of October and November, or all the month of November into early December, and then had our Santa rally after the December 7th possible bottom. You know, I say that because of the 4,000 point drop on the Wilshire chart. Then if we did that, then we should rally up quite hard. Maybe we rally up and hit the 1,000 level, which would be here. Wow, that's scary, folks. That's scary, and that would obviously be in the next turn date of the 2nd through the 4th for the next Legatus meeting, where George Daddy Bush comes in and says the worst deserver. Bye, 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 bye. This could be what we're looking at. I mean, it makes sense. It's hard to believe, but it makes sense with the count of a wave 2 being approximately double. It doesn't have to be. Some people say it's like 1.618 of wave 1, which is also accurate as well too. You could chart that out and figure that out, but I've just noticed that lots of times it's, you know, approximately double. But okay, I think I have covered about everything that I wanted to cover. I don't know, there's always so much more that I could do, but the videos just get too daggone long. There's just so much to cover. And so all we're looking at here is next week. We're looking at early in the morning. Let's go over these short-term charts here just to see, just to let you know. Obviously, they kicked this back up into the close because it was manipulated. They wanted to close the SPY at 124 to make all the put holders expire worthless, because there was a lot of people that went short in these areas. As I said previously, I really strongly believe that they would go up here and take out these people in this area right here that are that were short, and I believe it's a whole area right up in here, all the way up into about right here into 1250 zone. So from about 1230 to 1250 is where I think most of these people put their stops at. And so they took a lot of them out when they pierced this right here. Then they come back down, kind of back tested it, and ran it right back up into the close. Now, you know, to me it looks like it's ready to just roll over now, but you know, you can expect more gangster moves if it very well could go just like this Monday and fool most everyone thinking that to put in some type of negative divergence, and this very well could happen. And while it does that, obviously it would obviously go up higher, maybe to 1250. Who knows, maybe they do go up there to 1270. If they hit more buy stops, I don't know how many's in here, how many buy stops are in here. This is where people are forced to cover their position because they went short by borrowing stock to sell it short, and they're forced to cover it. If we run up if they hit a bunch of them, if there's a lot of them in there, they'll be forced to buy back the stock at a loss. And the buying pressure will cause it to run up. So I'm thinking that about 1250 is the top, but it's possible that it runs up to 1270 where that fake print is. Depends upon how many buy stops there is. So I wanted to show you this other chart of my own right here, that and it is right here. I drew some lines here, and we'll move this here out of the way. And I drew a line right here from the 222 high, or 222 high, and I drew it to this high right here. Drew it on out. It points right at 12,000. That could be a very likely target, just drawing these highs here. Obviously, you could draw another line here if you were sloping up, but I was trying to find one peak to another peak, so you have, you know, like lower peaks each time. So this could be a target. As you can see here, we're still pointing up on the daily. If we go to, well, I can't get nothing but that right there. Okay. Well, let's look at the SPU, the SPX. I'm sorry, as well. I drew some charts here. I know I got a lot of them on there. I'm sorry. As you can see, and I can remove some of these here. Delete to try to clean this up a little bit here, because these are done with now, obviously. Drawing the line here again, connecting this top and to this top right here, just drawing it on out. It points at 1310. I do not think that will be hit, but that's too far out. But this one here goes all the way back to 1994. That is obviously a target, like a magnet, to 1250 area right there on the SPX. So that is a highly likely target. And if we went back 20 years to 1994, you'd see that on here. I showed you this once before. You can see it's right here. It starts here, continues and touches the closing price here, and continues on up to approximately 1250. And on the SPY, which was another one I wanted to show you, and let's go to 1 year. On the 1 year, I connected the low here, the closing low, to the closing low here, pointing on out, and it looks like about 127.5. I connected the bottom piercing tail, the intraday low, to the intraday low here, pointed on out, and looks like about 127. So these are possible targets, only because, you know, it obviously lines up with the fake print. But, you know, does that mean it's going to happen like that? I don't know. I'm just expecting the unexpected, because this is a time period like none other, and these gangsters are going to fool the masses. And the only way you fool the masses like that is to obviously jack this up to levels that don't even make sense. And that would be my thought. You can look here on the 15-minute chart. You can see her curling it up. Obviously, if they wanted to continue up on a Monday morning, they would, you know, do one of these numbers and run it on up and put in a lower high on the histogram bars. And this all again would set up and that again would, you know, obviously jack this up higher. So don't underestimate these gangsters, folks. I know it looks like it's ready to just sell off on Monday, but technically that is kind of a bull flag, and, you know, that would project it up. You know, it's massively overbought, but don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. You know, they're hitting this upper trend line, but don't be fooled thinking it's just going to automatically roll back over. They could very well easily just keep pushing this up. And I used to think just the opposite of this, but I don't know, I've just kind of cleaned up my thinking here lately, and I'm starting to think a lot like a gangster. And what would I do? And I'd push it up and roll it over like this to give an even larger negative divergence before I'd roll it over and trap even more people, which again would push it up above this. You can call, if you want to draw a line like this as well, that's a rising wedge as well. And a breakout of that has something like a, I forgot, I think it was like a 90% or 80% chance of a failure, that it will not hold. That if you run up really hard like that, form a triangle, and you break out to the upside, 80 to 90% of the time it is a failed breakout. It has to fall back down. And of course it makes sense with them squeezing this out. I mean, that's just the way they do, call it an exhaustion move, and that would be the same kind of a scenario. So you would obviously just run it up here hard and then fall right back down. And will you close? I don't know. If we put in a nice topping tail, well, obviously it wouldn't be like that, but it'd be a solid if it closed down. But well, let's clear that out. If we gapped up, let's just say they ran it up 100 points and gapped up like this and ran it up to wherever, I don't think they're going to do this all the way up to here on Monday. But you never know. Anything is possible. If they did, then I would obviously expect it to fall back down and maybe close like that. And this is guessing, only because of this. What I'm looking at here is this. Looks like a target. It's just a magnet for the market. They've already busted through this. It's a magnet for the market. So you got this, and then you also have that fake print. I mean, so you got, and then you got this on the weekly too. So a lot of reasons to think that they are going to keep squeezing the people, the bears. And they never had a B wave down. They never had a B wave down, folks. This is how it should have looked. This is what I was waiting on. I was actually, I'd actually took a short right there and just took a loss on it because it never happened. It just kept on going straight up. I mean, the only correction they had was this one down day right here. Come on, that's a joke. That's not a B wave down. This would be an A and a B and a C. They totally manipulated this whole thing. That's why, again, I think that it is very, very possible, although not likely, but very, very possible that they are not going to sell this thing off and then go back up here in an ABC. It's done as far as I'm concerned. I don't see that happening. Once we come down here like this C wave up is not happening. Matter of fact, it's not going to be an ABC like that. I think there's going to be some bulls get on board thinking that that's going to happen, and on our first big pullback, maybe to hit this 50 moving average, there are going to be bulls that line up there, and they're going to be sorely disappointed, because instead what I think is going to happen is that the first pullback, wherever it's from, let's just say right here, goes up, and then whatever, the first pullback that comes here, I don't think it's going to be an ABC, up like this. I think it's going to go up like this for a small wave 2 and then turn and go down for a wave 3. Very possibly that could be Karen's November 2nd date. And so literally you've got this entire first move down to here being your first major wave 1 down, or some people call it intermediate wave 1, whatever. Maybe it ended here for all I know. And you got all this sideways chop for major wave 2. Again, I'm not an Elliott wave person. And then you have your wave 1 there, your 2 here, and then your 3 here. So, and this is obviously minor waves inside it. So what does that tell you? I see from the very top this starting a P3. So you'd have primary wave 3 down, and you'd have a major wave 3 down, or intermediate wave, whatever you want to call it, and then you'd have some type of minor wave inside of it down. So anyway you look at it, it'd be a 3 of a 3 of a 3 at least, and it very well could be on this November 2nd date. So you could see something like Monday up a little bit, then back down and closing like that, then Tuesday down, Wednesday down, back up a little bit on Thursday maybe, then back up a little bit maybe on Friday in decision mode, and then following next week started off with the bang, starting our wave 3 down. So it'd be boom, boom, boom. That would be my best speculation as to what's going to happen. Again, all this is subject to change once the market opens, but I try to give you all these possible scenarios, and then I will put it out there and change it as time goes on. when it's live. You'll see me on the blog chatting when I see stuff. I'll try to do these 5-minute updates for you as well, to give you ideas of where the market's going. And as well as I'm in the chat room there at stockmarketbloggers.com as well too, posting pretty much a lot of the same thing I'll post on the blog. Anything that's important, I post in both locations. We're just chit-chatting. I just do most of that in the Stock Market Bloggers chat room. Okay, guys, that is it. Sorry these videos are so long, but you got plenty of time to watch it. So that is it. I wish everyone luck. Be safe and look out for the crash of all crashes to start these next week and continuing into November and most of November, I'd say. So good luck, and I will see you all on the blog.